All right, just want to go over a little bit about the platform of the product. It's really based on the management console and agents. This management console is your central point of really your single pane of glass. You can say, where you can actually look at the overview of your Resilio infrastructure, how the agents are doing. You create jobs there. You troubleshoot. You see network statistics. You see disk speed and I/O. What's happening with your jobs. It's very granular, like other products that offer free or really low insight into what's happening. We provide really great intuitives of what's happening with the actual job, and everything you do within the Resilio Management Console, you can automate it through a REST API. So we have that built in. The management console can be used as an agent, has an agent built in, or you can unlicense it and just use it as the management piece. Within Resilio, we offer flexible and automated workflows. As we're mentioning here with this webinar, we're talking about edge workflows, straight out to these MDCs or MDTs to fire and rescue. So we also offer server sync as well as cloud sync, hybrid sync, which actually works in conjunction with caching. So we have a tremendous amount of automated workflows that can really benefit and show how we help institutions, companies really move their data anywhere. We also, when you talk about moving data, you have the file data and replication and access. We have our Resilio server agents, different agents that accomplish different things. We have our management agents, which actually you can actually point to the cloud if you like. And again, we have our edge user agents, which are used on the edge. It could be laptops, can be computers. We also offer Android devices. We have companies that have these Android devices in restaurants or out in the field, and they collect data and push it back to their central server. And I can't stress it enough, what's unique about Resilio is our peer-to-peer architecture, where, as Pedro mentioned, it's taking these small chunks of data and really distributing among the agents that are in the job, instead of going all the way back like a hub and spoke back to the server where you're taxing network resources and storage resources. There's latency involved. We really speed that up quite a bit, and we make it efficient. So anywhere you can use Resilio, it could be on the edge, data center, really in the cloud, migrations. We're really built it to be active everywhere. So just a note on our edge ingest and distribution. We like to say again that all data is encrypted, AES 256 on the WAN. We offer, again, the highest speed that you can provide on your network we'll use. We also can limit that network bandwidth if you like. If you would like us to throttle down, we have the ability to do that within a specific job globally or on a job-by-job basis. And what's nice too is that we break up the files into chunks, and we able to sync those smaller chunks after they're verified and hashed. We sync those, and allows the agents to really, again, share that data through peer-to-peer technology. And what's really nice that I appreciated when I was an administrator for emergency management in my county, that's ability to have an agent when it goes offline to come back and just pick up where it left off is beautiful. I remember restarting jobs many times. Our network was high latency. It was terrible. I wish I had Resilio back then, but it was a real challenge to get the data out to those MDCs and those fire trucks and those ambulances. I had to use a USB drive. It was really messy to make sure they didn't fail. So we really perform well over high latency networks. Petra mentions it could be LTE can be a satellite connection, a VPN. We're making sure that the data gets there, even if the agents go offline and come back. So now let me go ahead and just demo the product to you and show you kind of what an edge use case would look like within Resilio. Let me share my screen. All right, here we have the Resilio Management Console. Petra showed you some screenshots, and I'll show you what it looks like live. Here we have the Management Console where you can get an overview of what's happening with all your jobs that you have within Resilio. Again, we talk about that single pane of glass. This is where you would really manage and look at, as an admin, your jobs and seeing how much data you're transferred. You can see the transfer speed, bytes transferred, number of files, number of disconnects. If there are network disconnects, you can see when they're happening. You can also get alerts via like a webhook or email address saying, "Hey, this this agent went offline or this agent's back online." So it keeps you abreast of what's happening. We're talking about jobs now, and the distribution job that Petra's been mentioning is really a nice way to upgrade or send packets of information, mapping files, could be Windows updates to a series of agents. Let me show you the job and what it looks like. Well, I'm using a distribution job, and what makes a distribution job unique compared to a synchronization is that it can be scheduled, and you can also trigger the data either before it gets there or after with a script. Let me show you what it looks like. Here's my job that I've created. I have the details of job, what I named it. I have my source agent, which this is where the data resides. That's going to be pushed out to my agents. Here's my destination, which is my laptop one, and where I like that data to be delivered to. And here's the unique part. Here's the trigger. I set it for after the agent completes downloading the data to run this script so that it automatically will take that data. And in this particular case, I wanted to upgrade the version of Resilio that this agent has. So if you notice, this agent, laptop one, has an older version. I'm on 4.27. I want to upgrade it to 4.24. So with that job, I go ahead and go to jobs, click on the job. I'm going to start it. I'm going to go to my job runs, and let's take a look at the inside, what's happening with this job. I like to go to the agents tab, and you can see I have 4 files that are waiting to be downloaded. As they continue to be downloaded, they'll reach a point where now it's executing the script and telling the really the data what to do now. Give it direction and execute it. When it's successfully finished, I'm going to go back to my agents tab. And if you notice, laptop one now is upgraded to 4.27. And this is just a perfect example and how you can use Resilio to actually distribute software. And it's powerful because you can use scripts to tell it what to do. Another use case that I wanted to mention, which is really beneficial to edge use cases, is the ability to take data, large amounts of data, and allow an end user data, whether it's end user, which is a laptop or a desktop, to find and execute whatever they want. Let me demonstrate that to you. We have a job here. It's called a TSS job, and this is a transparent selective sync job. This allows the end user to choose whatever data they like to download. They may not have a lot of room on their desktop or laptop, or perhaps they're in a position where they want to download something a little later. So in this job I've created, it allow the data to be presented in a dehydrated cloud. Let me show you what the end user will see in the actual job. Let me just minimize this and go to my laptop. And so this is the TSS job that was configured for this particular agent. If I click on it, it takes me to Windows Explorer. And let me just make this a little bit bigger for everyone to see. So here is my data. As you can see, these files are presented in a dehydrated cloud, so they're not actually on my desktop yet. They're actually 1 kilobyte files that I can go ahead now and right click and actually keep on my device if I wanted to work on that. You'll see that it's transferring now just that file to my desktop. Once it's there, I can click on it, open up that file. The file will open. Work on it, make any changes, close it out, and just now resync just that file by freeing up the space back to my server, whether it's a NAS server or Windows server, whatever the case may be, a Linux server, whatever the case, and able to now just save that space. So you're controlling the amount of data that's existing on an end user's device. To extend that even further, we offer a caching gateway, which allows end users to experience a more granular way that they can manage their data in a similar fashion, but with file policies. So we can hydrate these files and pin them so they're ready for the end users to actually use them. So these are just a few use cases. I know it's a short demo, but it gives you the ability to really take your data and push it onto the edge wherever that may be.